Hey there, Aquarius. It's Kristen Redmond, and we're going to be talking about what the astrology for March, the equinox, the eclipse cycle, the full moon, all of it have in store for you because March is a huge month. This is where the calendar changes in the world of astrology, right? This is our new year when the equinox hits, the spring equinox, and this happens on March 19th. So there's new beginnings that happen at that time anyway, but there's a theme of new beginnings left and right in March, and they all happen in the same house for you. I'll tell you in a second, but the equinox happens, right? We just talked about that. But then we have the eclipse cycles. These guys work in 10-year intervals, and they look at old things that don't work for us and they try to push it out so that way new beginnings can happen. This happened, it started at the beginning of 2023, and it's going to be ending this year in 2024. And this is where these new beginnings are trying to come through. Then we also have this full moon that happens on the 25th, and full moons are notorious for bringing things to the surface that also have to be released in order for new beginnings to happen as well. So we have all of this happening, and it's all happening for you in that house of communication, I guess is the best way of saying it. That third house and the ninth house. Our lower mind sounds kind of crappy, but what it is how we think, how we get those thoughts out, how we communicate them to others, how we're being heard by others. And then over here on the other side, which is our higher mind, and it's our higher self talking to us as well. This is a time frame where our communication styles of all kinds, Aquarius, are coming into light. It's showing us where they aren't working. This came to light 10 years ago. Kind of dial it back 10 years ago and think, what was I dealing with in terms of that? Maybe it was communicating things to yourself, right? Just your own style of communication and maybe how it doesn't work. You know, Aquarius is notoriously known for being very detached, right? You have that ability to detach from emotional situations and get things done in the moment. That's great, right? That's an amazing thing to have, but it also isn't great when it comes to relationship. And so this year, as we're dealing with this eclipse cycle of Aries and Libra, it's about relationship. This Aries side is about how you deal with things, right? But over here is how it happens and affects your relationships. And so that comes to light in these eclipses. And starting on that full moon of March 25th, I think you're going to get some signs from the universe on where that may or may not be working, right? How that may or may have not worked in the past 10 years. And I tell you what, you're already going through a major shift and change anyway. If you haven't already, you are, because you have Pluto that has moved into your sign. This is the biggest event of all of our lifetimes, is the planet of transformation Pluto that takes 250 years to go into a sign. It's landing in your sign. It landed in your sign on January 20th, and it's going to be there for the next 20 years. And so this is the planet that completely transforms. This is the butterfly to the caterpillar to the butterfly energy, where you are reforming who you are. You are the sign of being true and authentic to who you are. Maybe that's a little weird. Maybe that's a little different. Maybe that's not what everybody else wants. Who cares, right? That's what Aquarius says. And if you have found yourself where you're limiting yourself into situations where you're conforming to what other people expect or need of you, Pluto is coming through and it's like, we're going to dramatically change that because you're here for your life path, not their life path, your life path. And so that can be letting things go, right? Pluto is not about building on what has existed. It's about burning it down and starting brand new. So maybe this is about divorce. Maybe this is about leaving a job that you've been at forever. Maybe this is just leaving outdated beliefs that you have to do what everybody else needs you to do, right? It's going to be different for everybody. Maybe because it is the planet of transformation, you're completely transforming how you look. Maybe you're dyeing your hair or having surgery done. Maybe you're having gastric bypass done. Maybe you're going through a diet regimen to completely transform who you are. This is already happening anyway, right? If it hasn't happened now, it's going to happen in 20 years because of this energy. That's the push for everybody, but especially for you right now, because this has moved into your sign. And so that pushes the underlying current, right? And then here, the energy of the eclipses in March and the equinox and blah, blah, all of that is bringing it into focus about how your mind is perceiving that. The thoughts that you're telling yourself when it comes to all these things, the way that you look at yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you believe in yourself is all coming to light. And you'll see those things really surface at the 19th equinox, but especially at that 25th full moon. Where is that holding you back, right? It's going to come to light. Keep that in mind. It's not just about March. This carries on for the remainder of the year, where it's really showing you where you're limiting yourself. It's about growing. It's about moving onward. It's about showing that light of who you are and being proud of what that is and not holding it back anymore. Being proud to let your fruit flag fly. You know what I mean? In a way of saying it. But really, truly, it is. It's about taking that light that you've kept hidden and bringing it out for the world to see. Now, on that other side, that 9th house also deals with learning. It's about taking everything that we have learned and teaching it to others. So maybe you'll find that you're taking all this wisdom and knowledge that you've accrued in all this time, and you become the teacher this year. Maybe that's going to be called upon under the power of these, eclipses that are happening this year. Maybe it's about learning. Maybe you're going back to school, but maybe on the other side too, the 9th house also deals with travel. Maybe you're going to start traveling more, getting out, having fun, exploring the world, because when we do that, the 9th house, when we embody that power of being the explorer, we get a lot of insight on what it is we need to do next, the steps that we need to take next, right? Whatever it might be, know the universe is going to show you some signs in this time frame. Just listen, trust what your instincts are telling you, because that is what the energy of March is all about. Trusting your heart, trusting what your instincts say, and not listening so much to what this repetitive message in the conscious mind is, right? Especially. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.